But anyway, yes, welcome to part 12 of this whole series. We're over halfway through these games at this point. Done Mickey Mouse, so I'm going to be doing these other 9 games on this page, which hopefully will all be better. There are a few games here where I want to be using the turbo controller, so I'll plug that in when I get to those, and I'll do the other games first. And considering that the last game I played was so rubbish, not necessarily one of the worst games, but it is one of my least favourites. Also, yes, Tenagehu Tant. Like, what even is that name? What is a Tenagehu Tant? Is it Teenage Mutant, but they spelled it like as badly as possible? I have no idea. Okay, you know what? Let's deliberately start this off with a good game. Play one of my favourite games on the console. Good old Paperboy for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yeah, this is genuinely one of my favourite games on this console. Which may be a bit of an odd take. I don't care. I'm like, you know what? I've played through this a few times in the past. I've gotten the retro achievements. I didn't get all of them. I didn't quite master the game. I kind of got stuck at a point. There's one way you have to get something like 100,000 points, and I was never quite able to do that. So I hope you're all having a good afternoon. But yeah, how are you all doing? How do you feel about the classic Paperboy for your Nintendo Entertainment System? This, I think, was one of the first NES games that was made in the USA, because this was ported by Eastridge Technology, I think. Oh, bugger. No, and I'm running out of newspapers. The papers always seem to spawn in just random locations, too. Maybe there's a trick to it. I just missed it. But yeah, I gotta be honest. I can never really get on with the arcade version of this game. But this really does it for me in a way that the arcade version kind of doesn't. I don't know, I think it's really the controls. I've tried playing the arcade version of this. They have a cabinet for this at Arcade Club in Bury. I do remember the trick to this is you actually just want to go as fast as possible and make it to the end without crashing. Ugh. Also, I can never figure out the collision detection on the moving ramps. It feels like you're actually better off just avoiding them completely. Yeah, Monopoly. You know, I'm not sure I've played this on the Mega Drive. I think I played the Master System version a bit. I must admit, I haven't played the other console ports of this game nearly as much. I'm mostly familiar with this one. But yeah. Ooh. No! Why did I go through the newspaper? I'm trying to go into it. Okay, well, I've got to conserve my newspapers now so I don't run out. That's the problem. You never know when they're going to turn up. Okay, here we go. See if I can get all of them. Actually, like, what is the trick to getting the most points in this? Are you better off trying to get all the houses? Trying to get as many subscribers as possible? Or are you better off, like, just deliberately only having one for, like, the whole game? Because I never quite figured it out. Ugh! Also, yeah, the collision detection is a bit hard to, it's hard to kind of get a feel for it. Like, even having beaten this game multiple times, I still never got 100%. It's not the easiest thing in the world, let's say. Though the game itself isn't necessarily that hard. I mean, if I can beat the game, it's not that hard. Let's be honest. Oh, Motive Time did the Mega Drive one? I didn't realise they did Mega Drive games. I thought it was just strictly, like, Nintendo. Because they did do the infamously shite NES version of Dragon's Lair. Though, to be fair, that game is at least graphically impressive, if not very good. But yeah, you see the amount of points I got just for finishing the course? You get a time bonus at the end, I think. So you're actually better off just getting to the end. Paperboy race. That would be great. Although, in practicality, it'd probably be kind of annoying. Yeah, the Famicom version of this did upgrade the graphics a little bit. It did come out a few years after this version did as well. Really, I'd say the Famicom version of this is probably the best version of Paperboy for my money. Again, I never liked the arcade version of this that much. Oh, wait, what happened there? Like, I just, like, crashed into thin air. Or, like, was there... Okay, was the newspaper, like, blocking something? Like, was there something behind the newspaper? And I couldn't see it? I don't know. I do know this game got ported everywhere, though. Like, this was on the Master System, it was on the Mega Drive. It was on, like, basically every home computer that existed at the time. You want to play this game on your Amstrad CPC or your Acorn Electron, you can do that. Although, wasn't the Acorn Electron version of this, like, really bad? I know the conversions vary in quality. Like, I heard the 8-bit versions are generally fine, but then, like the ZX Spectrum version was okay, but then, like, you had other versions that just didn't really work. See if I can get a resubscriber. It's hard to do, though. So, some of the houses are a lot harder to get the newspapers in. Yeah, okay, the C64 version's not good. I've never played that one, so I don't know. But, I'll believe it. Hold on, let's try going to the right. Oh, okay, bad idea, but I go away with it. Oh, okay, don't go to the right. Hey, don't you dare besmirch the Commodore 64's name like that. Okay, the Commodore 64 has Whizball on it. And it's got Trailblazer. Trailblazer is a great game. Oh, I got all of them. Nice. Yeah, like, there are good Commodore 64 games, you just have to look for them. Because there are so many. You know? I mean, there are so many bad Donkey Kong rip-offs on it that they were clearly made in BASIC. Oh! Does the tornado get more aggressive on later levels? It feels like it does. Also, I hate they'd spawned you in the road when you respawn, because half the time it's like a car coming towards you. And I get the feeling I'm probably not going to finish the game on this run. It's been a while since I've played this one, so haven't got the practice in. But that's kind of the whole point of the series, is not getting the practice in. Although, I do have to apologise, there are a couple of games on here where I kind of accidentally played them off stream. Because there was a bootleg console called, it was like the PlayVision 95-in-1, that was dumped last week. In fact, it was dumped like around the time that I started streaming. And, I don't know, I almost want to stream that at some point. Oh, and, okay, I just went through the grave there. I'll take the mercy. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, thankfully if you crash at the end of the level, you don't get, like, you don't lose a life. But, yeah, again, I'm on my last life and it's only Thursday, which tells me I'm probably not going to beat this. As I say, I've beaten this game before, but chances of it happening right now are unlikely. But I'll give it a go. I'll see how far I get. I do notice they add some more obstacles as you get through the game, though, which is interesting. Yes, they can. It is possible to finish the game with all of the houses as subscribers if you don't miss a single one. But, yeah, good luck doing that. Thankfully, there's no achievement for that, so if you want to master the game, it's not quite as hard as it could be. I've got Flyby. Which just sounds like the game is, like, crashed. But here we go. 7 AM, waking up in the morning, gotta be fresh, gotta go downstairs, gotta have my bowl, gotta have cereal, seeing everything, the time is going, ticking on and on, everybody's rushing, gotta get down to the... Sorry, I'm just doing that just to annoy you, to be honest. I can be an annoying bugger when I want to be. Ooh. Ooh, bit of luck on my side there. I just like doing that sound. Oh. Okay. No, I got stuck on the thing and I lost. Okay, Paperboy calls it quits. Where am I on the scoreboard? Oh, I got the high score at least. That's something. Oh. 20 try to enter my name in. And it's not JPB. It's equal to APB, the arcade game I fucking hated. Because you just get constant demerits because I'm rubbish at it. Judgment Night? I don't know what Judgment Night is, I gotta be honest. It's not one I'm familiar with. Bumpty Bop. Well, you know, we may be seeing a version of Bumpty Bop in a minute. Because take a look at the games here. Yeah, Bump and Jump It is just Bumpty Bop, isn't it? You know what, let's play some Tecmo Bowl. We gotta go for Tecmo Bowl. Oh. Okay, this doesn't look much like Tecmo Bowl to me. This looks like, yeah, very much like not Tecmo Bowl. Okay, Dynamite Bowl. We'll play that instead. How many lanes are there? Okay, we've got 30 lanes. You know what, let's go for... Look at number 13. How do you choose the players? Oh, okay, you press up and down. Yeah, you can have 5 players to play a bowling game with you. Let's go for game A. Yeah, Tecmo Bowl looking a little bit different since I last played it. So, who do we have? We have man with eyebrow, dorky man, pink shirt woman, this man, and the receptionist. Okay, yeah, I want to be this one because he's got the eyebrow going for him. 11 pounds, because that's what I go for. I actually do know what the difference is. Also, yeah, I never quite understood the point of this game. But we'll give it a go anyway. Might as well, you know, I'm here, I may as well play 10 frames. See how far we get. You know what game I do like? I do quite enjoy... What was that Atari game? Bowling. Yeah, Atari Bowling's a good time. Also, a bit of a problem here is that there is a slight delay with my capture setup, so yeah, getting the timing down is going to be quite hard because the thing moves so fast. Like, if the timing on your like capture setup is slightly off, it makes games like this like 50 times harder. So that's my excuse. So how do I skip? Okay, you have to press B. Cypress Hill and Pearl Jam? Interesting. Okay, let's give this a go. I don't actually know how you actually affect things or any of the stats, like the weight of the ball, or... I mean, I guess the angle and power is going to affect things, but... I don't know. I mean, when I think of bowling games, I had 2 of them back in the day. I had Wii Sports, which had a really good bowling game. And I also had AMF Extreme Bowling 2006, which isn't nearly as good. Although it does have a really hilarious mode. It's got the pin challenge. And the pin challenge is great, because if you set it to the computer, half the time when they throw the ball, they throw it at going at like 1 millimeter an hour. And it takes several minutes for the ball to reach the pins, which is amazing. Okay, well, the ball's going to go straight anyway. Just set to this power. And hope it connects. It's hard to tell with these graphics, but okay, we've got it. Yep, King of the Spares. I think... Wait, does this game only have 5 frames? Because I definitely remember... From what I remember playing this in the past, Mode 1... Yeah, let's just go full power, why not? As Tim Allen would do. But, now what was I going to play? Or what was I going to say, I should say. Yeah, Mode A in this is just a regular bowling game. And Mode B is... What was Mode B? Mode B, I think you have to get exactly 300 points. And if you don't get the 300 points, then you lose. Or no, you don't lose. Basically, the game just goes on forever until you get 300 points exactly. If you go over 300 points, then you have to, like, subtract from the score until you get to 300, and it's just... It is the worst. Oh, Hyperball. Yeah, I had Hyperball back in the day. But that was like a download-only game, wasn't it? No, we're gonna go full power for this. Yeah, Hyperball, I think, was... a download-only title, like you had to do it that way. But yeah, Hyperball was actually really good, to be fair. I like that game. Oh, there was a physical version. It's been ages since I've played it, but yeah, that was a good one back in the day. Like, basically, Hyper Bowl and Wii Sports, those are, like, the best bowling games. And the one that was on 51 Worldwide Games for the Switch, if anyone's played that. Ooh, here we go. Yeah, give me that X. Or a V, if V's close enough. Well, to be fair, I mean, 300 points is the maximum score that you can get in bowling. Okay, so it does seem to go past 5 frames. By the way, Mode B in this is so bad. Like, Mode B is just like... I was like, why would you design it like this? I've never played Super Bowling. There were a few bowling games on the Famicom. There was Championship Bowling, which is kind of just this, but with like really manic... with a really manic soundtrack for like no good reason. It doesn't really make any sense. I never understood that. And there was also Perfect Bowling, which I definitely remember being the best of them. Like, that one's actually okay. So, of course, that game isn't on here. Championship Bowling may be on this, though. We may come across that later. Yeah, let's go for a lower power shot. Let's see if that works. I do kind of like bowling on the Atari 2600, though. It's not a great game, but I do enjoy it. Yeah, basically the game goes on forever until you get exactly 300 points. It's kind of silly and doesn't really work. What happens if I set the power down? Does the ball just kind of curve to the left? Because there's no way to curve the ball, which is... I don't know, I feel like it's something that's essential to a bowling game. You need to be able to curve the ball. Like, even the Atari game had that, and this game doesn't. It's like they didn't really know how to do that. Okay, let's do it like this. Yeah, darts. There was a darts game on the NES. What's it called? Magic Darts? I don't think I've ever played it, but it looked strangely interesting. Like, you just got all these weird characters to play against. Like, you have, like an alien, and, like, a gorilla, and, like, Superman, or whoever's in there. There's some interesting stuff going on in that game. Certainly far more than this. Like, the cover art of this game has a gorilla on it, but there is no gorilla in the game. Unless maybe there's a cheat code you can use to unlock it, but I kind of doubt it. Yeah, Toshiba. They published this. They also published Hydlide, and, yeah, Bird Week, and probably a bunch of other games that I can't remember. But yeah, kind of just feels like, well, you know, no one's released a bowling game on the Famicom yet, we may as well fill this gap in the market. And to be fair, I mean, this game isn't that bad. I mean, it works. Okay, so we got a bonus shot. Let's, you know, let's just go full power, see if I can just knock all the pins down. We don't need no spin. Who needs spin other than the pros? Yeah, to tell you the truth, I'm actually not a big fan of the original Tecmo Bowl. I just don't think it plays nearly as well as the, what was it called? Yeah, Tecmo Super Bowl. Like, Tecmo Super Bowl, not only does it have far more in the way of features, like a full season mode, all the NFL teams, most of the NFL players, but it just straight up plays better. Like, the throwing just, or like passing, whatever, just works a lot better than it does in the original. I don't know, the original game always just felt a bit off to me. Anyway, yeah, so that's Dynamite Ball. Didn't beat the high score, but whatever. Yeah, you kind of get that from that, like, 5-minute session. We have to play Tenagehu Tant. What is Tenagehu Tant? Is it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? No, it is not. It is TNC Surf Designs, or whatever it's called. Yeah, you might know this one. I kind of just want to go for the Street Skate session. Yeah, okay, because here's the thing that you need to know about TNC Surf Designs. The skateboarding is pretty good, and the surfing is terrible. So, we're going to go for just the good mode, and I may show off the bad mode later. And we're going to go for a Cool Man in Glasses. Yes, made by Atlas, apparently. Definitely has that Atlas sound to it. But yeah, I got to be honest, I like this game. This isn't necessarily a great game, but it's a fun one to mess around with for a bit. At least, here's the thing. This like, skateboarding mode is quite fun for what it is. Like, there wasn't really much in the way of good skateboarding games before Tony Hawk, to be honest. Like, Skate or Die is just kind of awkward now. It's very much in the vein of, like, those epic sports games, and I don't like those. I just find those games to be just kind of too fiddly to be worth the trouble. Also, this game is just a banger of a soundtrack to go with it, too. Also, you can grind on this thing, which I like. Yeah. Get a bit of extra time. Also note, if your, like, meter fills up, I think, the timer stops, which is interesting. Like, this game has a bit more to it than you would expect for a skateboarding game from 1988. Also, yeah, why this is called Tenagehu Tant, I have no idea. Like, has nothing to do with anything in the game. Also, the level actually does get longer as you progress in the game. I think once you get to about level 6 or 7, then you basically get the full level. So it does take a while to get to that point. But I'll see how far I can get. I will actually show off the other mode, just because I can. You know, it's easily accessible from the menu. But yeah, I mean, again, this is no Tony Hawk, but it's not bad. I like this one. As far as LJN games go, this I'd say is actually one of their best. Because at least one half of it is good. I mean, certainly you compare this to something like the Spider-Man game that I played on one of the other streams. Yeah, this is certainly a lot better than that. I do like the fact that, okay, so if you just press the A button, you jump off the board, but if you... Oh, okay, I probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, but yeah, if you press the A button while holding left, you grab the board and jump. Oh, that's fine. We'll see you later. I'll still be here in a couple hours' time, I think. I will take a look at the surfing mode later. I just didn't want it to count against me on this playthrough, because I never quite made sense of the surfing mode, to be honest. It always just kind of threw me for a loop. Also, yeah, you gotta be careful for the objects coming towards you. There's something slightly Game & Watch-esque about the gameplay loop. To me, at least. I don't know. Maybe that's nonsensical, but... Yeah, this, again, apparently made by Atlas, who of course also made Friday the 13th, which is also on this console. Okay, I jumped a bit early there. But yeah, they also made Friday the 13th, which, again, also on this console. I played it on one of the other parts. And, again... Okay, I think I might have lost. Oops. Okay, well that's, yeah. Me being rusty with the game. Okay, I've no idea what God of Protectors is. It's a silly name, whatever it is. Do you mean like the console, or do you just mean this game specifically? Okay, we'll take a look at the wave mode, and we get to play as Funky Kong at home. Yeah, Karate Kid. Is Karate Kid on this? I don't think I've played it. It probably is on this console somewhere, I just haven't come across it yet. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I never figured out how to play this mode. This one has always been a mystery. I don't think I've ever come across, like, a surfing mode in, like, any one of these, like, sport compilation games that was any good. I don't know if I'm missing something in terms of the control, but... Yeah, it always just kind of confused me. Like, I can get a couple levels into this, and then... Yeah, like, you tell me what I'm supposed to do here, because I ain't got a clue. You seem to just lose randomly. I never quite understood it. Yeah. Like, eventually the game just lets you do that, and you beat the level. So here we go. Here's bloody Homer that we have to avoid. Like, what did I even hit there? I was just inside the wave. Like, I didn't touch anything. Unless it was, like, being obscured by the wave. I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's a trick to being good at this. I couldn't tell you what it is. It's just... Yeah, it probably is called Karaki. Whatever that means. Yeah, there were two versions of the Temple of Doom game. You know, actually, what I might need to do after this, I may need to look up that Skip Rogers tape, because I know he talks about this on one of those tapes. And I'm sure he's got tips on how to not suck at the surfing game. But I will say this, I have seen several other people in the past, like on YouTube comments, basically say what I've said about this game. Say, yeah, this part of the game is good. Or no, the skateboarding part of the game is good, and this part is garbage. So, it's not just me being weird, like, that is kind of the consensus for this one. Also, yeah, Last Crusade. Yeah, for some reason there were 2 games based on Last Crusade, and I don't know why. Especially when the second one is, like one of the worst games on the console. Like, literally, it's essentially the Game Boy version, but like worse, because it's just a half-assed conversion of the Game Boy version, which is already one of the worst games on the Game Boy. So yeah, well, that's TNC Surf Designs, also known as Tenagehu Tant. So what do we have? Bump and Jump, Dino Riki. Okay, so Dino Riki, Ghostbusters, and Aladdin 3. I am going to need to use the turbo controller for those, so I'll save those ones for last. Let's see, we've got Spy Hunter, we've got Bump and Jump. And, is that it? No, Battletank. Okay. Let's play some Spy Hunter, because I like this one. Yep, it's Spy Hunter. You still can't argue with that. Yes, Spy Hunter presents... Spy Hunter. Yes, it's a very meta game. Spy Hunter presents itself. Or is this version just called Spy Hunter 2010? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, I did get a little bit of practice on this one after the previous stream. By accident, again, like, there was a ROM dump of, like, a plug-and-play that had, well, basically a hacked version of this game on it, though it seems to be, I want to say it's exactly the same, except the, like, audio is, like, slightly different. Like, it doesn't have the Peter Gunn theme in it, but otherwise it's essentially the same game. And it was actually called Need for Speed. No relation to the other Need for Speed. Okay, so I seem to recall the trick here. You want to get the spray, and you want to get the oil. I seem to recall those being, like, the best items to have. So I think this is the spray, isn't it? JP. Yeah, okay, so it's the spray. So S is spray, O is oil. You've also got the missiles, which as far as I can tell are completely useless. I never figured out what you're even supposed to do with them. This is, like, a handful... Yeah, this was, like, a Sunsoft game as well. Like, Sunsoft ported this to the NES. And it never got released in Japan, weirdly. I don't know why. Because they did release Super Spy Hunter in Japan, where it was called, what was it called? Battle Formula. That was, like, the Japanese version, though it was clearly... It was clearly based on Spy Hunter, like, have you ever played on it? Like, it's obviously just a reworking of that. Oh, okay, I kind of glitched through that. That was interesting. I do like Spy Hunter, but just like with Paperboy, this is one of those where I've only ever liked the NES version. I don't like the arcade version of this at all. Like, the arcade version is just, like, overly hard to the point that it just isn't any fun to play. Some people say that, like, Spy Hunter 2 is terrible, and I agree with them. Like, Spy Hunter 2 is a lot worse than the original. But I still don't really care for the, like, arcade version of the original. Like, I would much rather just play this version. Because while this version is kind of buggy, it's more manageable to play. It's a lot less bastard hard. Like, it's still very hard, but I can at least survive for a while and not just get obliterated, like, 15 seconds in. Yeah, so this really is like not Spy Hunter. This really is like Paperboy on the NES in that sense. It's not generally as well liked, but I vastly prefer it, despite that. Also, I do need the Senkyu... Oh wow, it actually destroyed the car. I didn't realize it could do that. That's awesome. And I'm actually kind of amazed that didn't count as a collision, but I'll take it. Oh, no you don't. Wait, does it not crash if it goes on the beach? I guess it wouldn't, because that wouldn't really make sense, but... It goes off the road, it crashes. There we go. I don't think you get any points for doing that, which is a bit of a shame. But here we go. So, oh, you bastard. Yeah, if I keep this car on the screen, I should be fine. I want to get to the boat. Now, here's a question, by the way. Does anyone know what the default high score in this game is? Is it like 30,000 points or something? Because I think I'm about to beat that. And I haven't died yet. Though, it doesn't seem as if I've got any extra lives, which is weird, because I feel like by this point I should have gotten one. Because I'm sure you get one when you get to like 10,000 points. Oh, no, I got it. Okay, let's try not to go too fast. So what I want to do is I want to try to get into the boat mode. Just because the boat mode is cool. You know, it's like, is it World Is Not Enough? I'm sure like one of the other films did it before that, but... So, one of those like earlier Bond films. It's got to be on one of these bits coming up. It's only been going long enough, it feels like it. Okay, let's try going this way. Ooh. Oh, now we got to the point where they're spawning 2 enemies at a time. Yeah, so this one I think is the missile. And like I said, the missile, as far as I'm aware, is completely useless. Like, there's no reason to use it. No matter what I do, I can't get the missile to actually come into contact with anything, so... You're actually better off just not bothering. It's like, try to memorize, like, the route, like, which routes have which items, and just avoid any of the ones that have the missiles. I don't know. Like, I'm sure they worked better in the arcade version, but they don't work in this version at all. Maybe that's the reason why people didn't like the game. Ooh, here we go. I mean, naturally this game is going to be quite hard. I mean, this is from the same people that made Super Spy Hunter, and that game is bastard hard. It is quite good, but it's not necessarily one of my favourite games ever. I think just because of the difficulty, to tell you the truth. Also, I have no idea how I went through that and didn't die, but I'll take it. Also, it feels like that should have counted as a collision, but... Okay with that. Getting lucky with this one. But yeah, Oh, wait, are there 3 cars now? Don't remember that. Must be misremembering this game. Oh, show me the boat mode! I don't remember where the boat mode should... I think I'm on the wrong side of the road. I'm going to deal with this thing now. Problem with the oil is, well, it's quite a good weapon. Unfortunately, it only works from behind. If you got an attacking enemy that's in front of you, it's not really an option. Ooh. Also, you seem to get a lot of oil, too. Like, it feels like I never actually run out of oil. I only run out of oil because I get killed. And then you just lose your weapon anyway. Which I kind of wish that they'd changed that for Super Spy Hunter, because... Like, losing your weapons in that game is terrible. Like, I don't mind it so much in this one. You can kind of survive, but... Well, unless you crash into something, but there you go. You know, I'm going to count that as a win, because the game really doesn't end, and I think... I'm going to have to look this up, actually. I think the default high score in the arcade version is it like 30,000 points? Let me check this. Just found a game called Space, but... No, it's 20,000. Yeah, so I definitely beat the high score, so... Or at least going by the arcade version. This version really has no high score to beat, so we'll just count that as a victory. Yeah, a lot of 0s and 5s, my favourite numbers. Now, let's play Bump and Jump while we're here, or Bumpity Bop, as you know. Yeah, Action Fighter, I don't care for Action Fighter. Like, it's playable, but it's no Spy Hunter or Xevious. And it's kind of like somewhere between those two, and it's just not as good as the NES versions of either of those. As much as I like the Master System, it's just, yeah. Oh. Yep, off to a great start on this one. Am I misremembering how you go fast? Because I'm just holding up. Also, I don't remember what the B button does, it's just like, woo! I can't remember if that's a brake or it's like smash into the other driver button. Also, yeah, you want to talk Data East. So this is a bit of a weird one. So this was a Data East game. Firstly, it was from 1982, so So the fact that this got a conversion in 1986 is kind of weird to me. Because, like, this was really, like, after the arcade game had had its day. Like, this... Yeah, this is a bit of an odd choice to port, I would say. Though, I suppose you could also say that for Burger Time. And, you know, that had a version on the NES. Yep, here we go. Okay, we gotta try to land on the goal thing. Oh, yeah, we did it! Wait, you can't access the first 2 levels. Great. So you have to beat the game and then do it. Yeah, they did that for one of the Zippy Race hacks as well, where it starts off on a later level, and you have to clear a loop, and then it lets you go to the first level. It's kind of weird. You know, actually, I do enjoy this game as well. Like, this is, I would say, probably the best version of this game. Even if it does spawn the power-ups inside the walls on occasion. I never quite understood that. I think it is like Paperboy, it just kind of spawns them at random. But, yeah. This is actually a good version. But again, this original arcade game, I mean, it was old enough that it had a version for the Atari 2600. And it's not a bad version on there, actually, to be fair. It was, one of the games I got with my Atari Junior when I got that secondhand. And, yeah, like, came with a bunch of games. This was probably the best of them that I had. Even if, you know, this NES version of the game is better. And this is the NES version. I think the Famicom version had a different name. It was like, I think it was called Buggy Popper. Ooh. Yeah, we did it. Yeah, I don't like B-Wings, but this one is fine, even if I can't beat it. Like, this game is really hard. There's something like 15 levels, I think, and then eventually it loops. I've never gotten more than, I don't know, like 4 or 5 levels in. That's about as far as I can get. I get a few levels in, and then I just get destroyed. There is like a weird power-up that takes you to like this weird sort of bonus screen where you just sit there and, like, I think the game just gives you a bunch of bonus points. Like, there are power-ups that don't really seem to do much. It's like they just kind of exist for extra points, I think. Also, yeah, my strategy in this game just goes fast as possible and try not to get killed. Ugh. Yeah, you want to hear the good version of the song? Also, I'm going to run out of fuel! No! No, because I keep jumping over, like, when there's fuel spawning. Like, this is not good. Oh, no, you don't. No, and I'm probably about to die because it keeps spawning the fuel in places where I can't collect it. Yeah. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do there? Yeah, bumpty bop. Yeah, as remixed by a lunatic from this original version. Also, they do not give you a lot of fuel to start with, either. Ugh. Oh, you hold turbo buttons? I didn't realise the turbo button had a use for this one. Okay. But hey, I crashed 16 cars. That's something good. Again, there's no way I'm beating this game. I think this level might be as far as I've got. Like, if anyone could beat this game, I tip my hat to you. Even though I'm not actually wearing a hat, because I don't tend to wear them, really. Okay, I guess the real strategy is try to stay on the ground so you can collect power-ups. The problem is, occasionally they just appear in places where you can't actually get them. Ugh. I'm reminded of Metromania, actually. There's a level in that game that kind of looks like this, to me. Just kind of like the general aesthetic of this level. But yeah, as I say, this is probably the oh, bugger. Yeah, this is probably the best version of the game. But, food. Anyway, yeah, bump and jump. For your Nintendo Entertainment System. Couldn't even beat the high score. And fail. Great. I don't think there's even... Like, does this game have continues or not? I feel like it doesn't, but I might be wrong. Anyway. You know, let's play some Battletank. Yes. From Absolute Entertainment. This will be an absolute piece of entertainment. I think I did play this game on stream once where they changed the credits. But this does appear to be the original, like, version of the game. Yeah, from your boy Garry Kitchen, Alex Demio, Rob Harris, and Dan Kitchen, all in the house. Jesse Capley, and Mark Van Heck, the favourite of Imagineering fans everywhere. But, yeah, Battletank. You might remember on one of the previous streams, I played a game called Destination Earthstar. This is a bit like that game, except you're in a tank instead of a spaceship. This one, I never fully understood it. I mean, I get the idea. I mean, you're playing as a tank, you have to blow up the other tanks. That much is obvious, but yeah, there's a little bit of a Battle Zone vibe to it, in terms of how it plays, at least. But I don't know. I prefer Battle Zone. Ooh. Also, I never quite figured out how to aim this. I mean, granted, I mean, you compare this to... Ooh. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, if you hold down A and B... Yeah. Try to stop me now, game. Of course, the gun overheats. How many shots does it take? Yeah. The tank's just figured, no, we're losing! We better get away! Yeah, well, too late now. Because I'm the king. It is weird that if you press A and B, it pauses the game. I guess the control setup was limited for the NES controller. Like, Destination Earthstar has the same problem, where you have to press like a whole bunch of different button combinations to do certain things, and it's kind of confusing. And to be fair, I was never really good at these types of games. There was a sequel to this for Mega Drive and SNES. It was Super Battletank. I haven't really played that one. I don't really know how it compares to this original. I don't know. As far as games like this go, I tend to find the simpler they are, the better. I vastly prefer something like Battle Zone, like the arcade game, which did get an Atari conversion back in the day, and it's quite a good version on there. Like, couldn't quite do the arcade graphics, but it's got a vibe to its own. There we go. We got one more tank. Yeah, it probably does work better on like 16-bit consoles. If I had to guess. Again, I haven't played those versions, so I don't know how they are compared to this. This game, I mean, I guess it's fine for what it is. I've just never really been a fan of it. It's just not really my style of game. But, you know, give respect to Garry Kitchen, because he was really one of the kings of the Atari 2600 back in the day. So, is there a thing that tells you if the thing's about to overheat? Oh. Come on, give me that victory. Mission complete! Yeah, this is a very different kind of tank game to the ones that you usually find on this system. Or on multi-carts or whatever. Yeah, because usually when I think of tanks on these kind of systems, I think of Battle City. We haven't actually come across Battle City yet, or any versions of it. I don't think... We maybe came across like a rip-off version, but certainly not the original. There we go, that's mission 1 complete. Okay, what's mission 2? But yeah, has anyone played like the SNES version of this? I'd imagine that's more like a sequel rather than a conversion, but you know, maybe. Have we played Pulveration? I don't think we have actually, now that I think about it. But yeah. You know, Garry Kitchen, one of my heroes from back in the day. Even though I was not around for the Atari 2600 era. Did make some good games. Ooh. Where are they? Ooh. Well, the level's now green. So it's difficult to aim with this, but at least they give you more ammo for the later levels, because they kind of need it. And I can't remember how many missions this game has. I think it has like 10. But yeah, Garry Kitchen, I think he actually worked on, was it the Donkey Kong conversion for Atari 2600? People tend to dog on that version, but I think that version's quite good, actually. I think that version is a lot better than people give it credit for. And I remember in the Atari 50 interviews where he actually does talk about working on that version of the game. Here we go. So we gotta... Is it like you have to destroy these things? There we go. Is that all of them? Yes. So you gotta destroy the fuel tanks and take out the enemy tanks. And avoid the mines. Don't go near those. That's generally a bad idea. But yeah, I mean, there are a handful of games on the NES that are like this. Like the Silent Service, which is kind of like the submarine equivalent to this. I never figured out how to play it. I've played that on the Commodore 64, and I didn't really know how to play it there either. Actually, to be fair, this game's not bad. Like, this one's fine. Again, it's not really my thing, generally. But, certainly you compare it to a lot of the other games I've played on the system, and you could certainly do a lot worse. Although it is strange that this game has a score system. Like, it doesn't really feel like the sort of game that would have it. Yeah, Tank 1990, or Tank N, yeah, that's kind of the definitive version of Battle City to me. That mode is just pure chaos. That's what makes it so good. Ooh. And they're trying to run away. I don't think so. You know, it's funny, I'm probably better at this game than I am at Battlezone. But Battlezone's got it's got a vibe to it that you just don't get with this. I don't know. It's just try to do this with like NES visuals, it just doesn't have the same thing going for it. I feel like I'm actually more at risk of running out of fuel than I am at like getting blown up. At least the map screen helps. You can just press start and bring it up whatever you want. Yes, Battlezone on Atari 2600, very impressive conversion, especially considering what they were, you know, basing it on. I quite like Battlezone on Atari. I do prefer the arcade game, but, hold on, I better start moving so I don't get shot. Yeah, it feels like you do have to go maximum speed to get them, though. You know, let's try the smoke just because I can. Oh, no, and I went past the tank. That's not good. Yeah, see, this is the problem. When you are around a tank, you have to deal with literal tank trolls. Also, I feel like the smoke was maybe a bad idea. Let's be honest. But actually, what did Garry Kitchen do after this? Because I know he was working at Imagineering, like, alongside David Crane and like a few other like Atari alumni, let's say. Oh, here we go. Yeah, just so I can beat the level, let's try the wire. I think that's like just an insta-kill move, isn't it? But maybe it has to come into contact with the tank for it to work. But, I mean, you compare this with Final Blood. I mean, even if you don't like games like this is like a million times better than that. This is like a game. Yes, they are still making new games. I must admit, I haven't looked into the new Atari 2600 stuff much. I really should, because I love the 2600, but it's one of those things I've just been preoccupied with just other games. Like, I've mostly been playing Mario Super Picross and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 recently, like, trying to get the, trying to beat those games. Kind of worried about the, what's that snowboarding game demo in Pro Skater 3? Can't remember. Oh yeah, they can just remove the base. But yeah, it's impressive that the Atari 2600 is still going to this day. It's like, the Atari 2600 is going to outlive all of this, because the console's just that great. What do we got? Yeah, from NATO, destroy enemy resistance. I can't remember. See, this is the problem. I think the game runs in real time. Like, even if you go onto this screen... Yeah, and you can't go into the, You can't go into the map screen while it's paused. So you can pause the game by pressing A and B, but... What you can't do is... What you can't do is go to the thing while it's paused. Am I going the right way? Oh, here we go. Is this a thing that can actually attack me? I don't remember actually getting this far to the game, I've got to be honest. There we go, so that's that thing destroyed. Yeah, it seems to have fewer enemies on this level, actually. So I'm going to assume the spiky things, I just need to avoid those. Oh. Okay, can this actually attack me? ID transfer. I read that as transfem for a second. I'm like, okay, this is turned into a very different game to what I thought it was going to be. It's the transfem army! They've come to exterminate the green tanks and replace them with the pink tanks from Storm Over the Desert. You know, it's funny, there were a lot of games about the Iraq War that were coming out at the time, like the first one. Like, you had this, you had Storm Over the Desert, you had Operation Secret Storm, which was the Color Dreams game. Which is, yeah, really not good. One of their very worst. And when I say worst by Color Dreams standards, you know that's a problem. Also, yeah, you do actually have to aim this thing, which is not easy. Especially when it's, like, moving side to side. Why not just do that? Whoa! Oops. Okay, I probably should have paused the game there, but I didn't think to do that. Actually, is the thing on the top left, is that your health? Like, if all those things are blinking, do you just lose? Seems like it. Okay, I think we'd... Oh, is that on it? What do I have to... Do I have to destroy the spiky things? Like, what even are the spiky... Oh, the helicopters. I thought it was like a different type of mine, but I guess not. Ugh. Okay, let me try this. Okay, how do I... Okay, how do I do this? I don't know what the strategy is against the helicopters. Yeah, it seems like the air... If you're in the air, you just kind of have a distinct advantage over me. Yes, it's like playing Battlezone all over again. Just like, yep, the thing goes behind you and you just die. Yeah, that did not work. The problem is, it seems to be able to outrun me as well, which, you know, makes sense for a helicopter, but, yeah, it's kind of annoying when you can't... Because you can't even turn the turret, as far as I'm aware. Like, it's not like I can travel from, like, a different angle and hit the, like, turn around and the turret and be able to shoot it that way. It feels like that should be an option, but it just isn't, which is kind of an issue. I don't know. Because I've played other tank games... Apologies for the flashing effect. But yeah, I've played other tank games where you can turn the turret separately to, like, the angle that the tank's moving at. But that didn't really become a thing until, like, the 90s. I don't know. As far as, like, tank games go, I prefer Steel Rain on the PlayStation. No one talks about that game, but that game is quite good. But, yeah, on the subject of Atari and Activision alumni, yes, we go from Battletank to Ghostbusters, yes. From Garry Kitchen to David Crane. Actually, let me see if we can get this up. I'm going to take a quick break before I go to Ghostbusters. I'm going to fill up my drink because it's getting empty. But I'm just going to leave you this nice little interview featuring them. Because some good insight into the early days of Imagineering, let's say. So I'll be right back.
There's this funny time period in the history of, if I wrote a book on the history of the video game industry, this is a funny time period where we had left Activision and we went from this fabulous AAA office complex, beautiful. We had more space than we needed by a factor of 5, and we went to the most horrible office in Midland Park, New Jersey, in the basement of an optician's office. Game industry, this was after the crash. Game industry was a disaster. And it was just, oh man, what an office. It was horrible. But we survived in it. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. So anyway, we're in this horrible office, and we're doing C64 stuff at that point. And I get a call from a buddy of mine. Actually, he was our part-time sales guy, and he always visited Toys R Us, and he knew them really well. He called me and said, you know, you're gonna laugh, but they want to know if anybody's doing 2600 games. Because at that point, there were none. Nobody was doing them.
But there were 26 million consoles in homes.
And people were going in Toys R Us saying, why don't you sell games for my Atari anymore? So I said, wow, that's interesting. How many would he buy if he had a 2600 game? He said, oh, you know, 20, 30,000 pieces probably. And I said, all right, I'll get back to you. So we did Title Match Wrestling and Super Skateboarding, first two titles. I mean, regular skateboarding, first two titles. And he loved them, and they sold like crazy. And at that point in time, we were the only people in the world making games on the Atari 2600. My phone rings, and it's the Tramiels. So he did some 2600 games. You know, do a couple for us, because word got around. There's actually a need. And then Activision calls and says, do some 2600 games for us? And I said, well, why don't you guys just do them? He goes, well, you know, if I could be completely honest with you, we don't have anything. We don't have the specs. We don't have manuals. We don't have the equipment. He said, we couldn't make a 2600 game if we wanted to. So could you make something for us? I tell people that, they're like, who the hell wanted 2600 games? You know what? No one told consumers that there had been a crash. No one went to their house and said, you don't like video games anymore. Because that's what Toys R Us and Walmart said. People don't like video games anymore. But the people at home were sitting going, God damn, I'm tired of combat. Isn't there something else I can play on this machine? So it was good. We had a great run there. We had a lot of money off those games.
How's business?
Great.
Terrific. How do you keep track of your customers?
My Atari 400 home computer. Excuse me, Dad.
Why Atari?
Shopped around. It's a lot of computing capability for such a low price.
You use it a lot?
Sure, life's not all fun and games. There's homework I even program.
Uh-huh.
Atari has lots of software, not all the...
Pop this piece of crap in, expecting Ghostbusters, and what do you get? Well, Ghostbusters, got the logo there, looks promising enough. But are you willing to bet that it's going to get really bad once you start playing? Yeah, well, guess what? It gets bad as soon as you press the start button. The fuck was that? Ghostbusters! 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 Ghostbusters!
Yeah, just had to do that. It had to get it out of my system. Yes, Ghostbusters is a trademark of Columbia Pictures Industries Incorporated and Radiola Music. Was that like Ray Parker Jr.'s company? I don't know. Does Ray Parker Jr. have his own company? Seems like it would be the case, but yes. Programmed by Bits. Yes, the same people who made such classics as King's Knight. Oh, actually, before I forget, I really should plug in my turbo controller for this one. Anyone who's played this game will know why I'm plugging in the turbo controller. Yes, not the one that made the Spider-Man game, the one that made King's Knight. They're two different studios. Funnily enough, the UK one actually made a whole bunch of games for the Supervision for some reason. I don't know. Okay, so it is Ray Parker Jr. I kind of figured as such. Say the line, game. Like, what even is that voice clip? Yeah. So yeah, Ghostbusters, I mean, just like, you know, Paperboy and maybe like 1 or 2 other games I've looked at today, this is a game that was released on basically everything. Like every system had this game back in the day. And I'm going to tell you right now, having played a few of them, I can tell you straight up, this is the worst version of the game by far. Like, this is just, ugh. Like, what do you even say? But yeah, this was originally made by David Crane. What do we want to get? Capture Beam, got to get that. And let's get the Super Trap, just so I don't have to keep going to the HQ. And I think this building was lighting up. Okay, let's do that. Why do I have to travel so far to get to this, like, one building that's like... Oh, come on, I was on the thing. Here we go. Try not to get crashed into by the drunk drivers. I don't remember how the controls work. Okay, the controls don't work as I thought they did. I thought that you had to press... Yeah, I thought you had to press, like, A to switch characters. No, you have to press, like, B. And it doesn't really make sense. But, like, yeah, like, they often just spawn the barrels on, like, the edge of the roads. Like, how are you even supposed to get there? But yeah, I can tell you right now, that I can tell you from experience that this is the worst version of the game. Like, it's not even close. Like, also, I don't remember what the controls are on this. I don't remember what the controls are on this controller, let alone the game. Yeah, it doesn't help when the ghosts actively stay away from, like, where you are on screen, so it just makes the game impossible. At this rate, I'm not even going to be able to catch a ghost. Which is kind of hilarious, because I actually did beat this game on stream once. Granted, it was the Japanese version, which has a glitch that allows you to go straight to the end of the game. So look at that, I was on the barrel, and the game wasn't counting it. Like, you want to talk about a game designed by idiots. Or actually, not even Ghostbusters, but specifically this version of the game. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Ghostbusters is not a bad game in its original form. It's really just a case that this version of the game is a fucking war crime. Like, this is the worst version of the game. By a huge margin. Like, it's not even vaguely close. Basically, yeah, you have, like, the Commodore 64 version, you know, which is alright for what it is. You got all the computer versions that are similar to the Commodore version. But then you've got, like, the Atari 2600 version, which isn't good, but it's kind of... It's what you would expect out of this game on the Atari. And then you've got the Master System version, which is definitely the best version of the game by far. Like, it's... Yeah, like, that is the one to play. If you're going to play this game, that's the version I recommend. Yeah, like, here's the thing. Play literally any other version of the game, and do not touch this one. You do not want to bother with this version of the game. It is horrific. Like, it is one of the very worst. Well, I don't know if it's one of the very worst NES games, but it's certainly the worst version of this game. Like, I think this game kind of has a bad reputation, mostly just because the NES version is so bad that it basically tanks the reputation that all the other versions of the game have. Because this is the version that's most widely remembered, despite its just lack of quality. And it's a shame. Because, as I say, the Master System version of this is a good game. And that really should be the version that people remember, and then it just kind of isn't. So I'll get the ghost alarm so I at least know where to go. So I don't have to waste my time just keep going over the map. Yeah, New Ghostbusters 2 is so much better. And again, I don't remember what the controls are on this. Okay, I think we're doing it. So now I can get the vacuum cleaner, which is quite useful. But yeah, basically the idea is that you just want to just drive around New York and just, like, catch as many ghosts as possible, get a whole bunch of money. I think to be able to go to the end of the game, what you actually need to do is you have to go to... How does it work again? You have to get something like $15,000, and then the game lets you go to, like, the last section of the game. It doesn't really make much sense. Like, it doesn't really make sense in context, and it may be explained in the manual, but it's not explained anywhere else. And, yeah, I'm not really getting the controls here. Yeah, and then you got problems like this, where half the time you just can't get to where the ghosts are. Like, the game just, like, fucks up. But yeah, New Ghostbusters 2 is so much better than this. Like, it's not even close. Like, this game is a complete mess, and then you have New Ghostbusters 2, which is, like, you know, an actual good game. Yeah, and half the time the game will just, like, actively make it so that you can't even get to the thing. Yeah, it seems like if I press the top button, it switches characters sporadically. And if I press any other button, it just launches the thing. But I blame that on the controller rather than the game. And, like, this, like, fuel mechanic shouldn't even be in the game at all. Like, the fuel mechanic has no place in this game. Like, it just exists to waste your time. Like, that's the only reason it's in there. But, yeah, here we go. At least I can do this. Yeah, you get, like, $800, which is nice. Which is good. You're actually probably better off just driving around and just vacuuming the ghosts rather than trying to go to the Ghostbusting scene. Because, like, you saw the amount of money I got from that. I got $2,400 just by catching 2 ghosts on the road. Yeah, like, the car basically has, like, no fuel. Like, it guzzles fuel like no tomorrow. It doesn't help when the ghosts, like, camp at the top of the screen. And, like, I can't even control the beam right. There we go. So we'll just go to this building, because why not? Yeah, also, yeah, people were mentioning Aqualung before. I like Aqualung. He's basically someone who's like, you know what? Let's just keep doing reviews like it was 2007. And that's cool. You know. Also, why am I not allowed to move up the screen half time? Like, sometimes I can move up the screen, and then the other half time, the game just says no. It doesn't make any sense. Just like, oh, we're not going to let you move up the screen now, even though you should be able to. Okay. And, yeah, there's a very good reason why I've got the turbo controller out at this point. So we'll go to the shop, because I want to get the upgraded version of the beam. There we go. Yeah, so the right button seems to be A. Ugh, okay, we got it. But yeah, look at that. I barely got any fuel for doing that. Like, you're actually better off just going at max speed. I'm kind of at the point of the game where I'm like, hold on, what's the button to trade things in? Okay, okay, so left button is B. Which one is... Hold on, which one's the beam? I can't even tell from these icons. Okay, it's... No, apparently the beam is like $12,000. Okay, so we're not doing that. And there's nothing going off. Fine, I'll just do this. And also, you see how far I have to drive? I have to drive 400 and something meters. Or, I assume it's meters. There's no way that's miles. Like this... Yeah, I'm going to drive 400 miles across New York City. Because that's how distancing units work. Although, well, I mean, given how the competency of the rest of the game, wouldn't surprise me if it actually was meters. Or miles, I should say. Yeah. And then you also have to wait like half an hour for them to get to the petrol station. Because apparently New York City is one petrol station in the entire city. I do know if the PKE meter fills up too much, then you just lose. I do remember that being a thing. Like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man shows up, and then it just says game over. As I say, the Famicom version of this does have a glitch. Oh. Okay, apparently that was the wrong button to catch the ghost. I thought I pressed the right one, and the game just said no. See, that time it let me move up the screen, but the other time it didn't. It's like, why? No! I had that. I called bullshit. I had the ghost, and the game said no. Yeah, I distinctly remember beating the Famicom version of this on stream once, and... yeah, the Famicom version... Well, it's easier in the sense that it is possible to just glitch to the ending, at least. Actually, I got an idea. No, okay, that didn't work. I was thinking, like, is... Hold on, which button is turbo? Okay, I think... See, I can't make sense of this controller's controls, because they're not labeled like any controller that's ever made sense. They're just like random symbols that don't really correlate to anything. Okay, I think I figured out the strategy. Just go as fast as possible. Okay, here we go. Okay, so left button is B, bottom button is A. I have to remember that. And then, there we go. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's probably faster to just, like, deliberately not do that, and then just go straight to the end of the game. Okay, I think if I hold the right button, it lets me catch the ghosts. But look at this, like, half the time they just camp at the top of the screen, and even the hyper beam doesn't work. It's like cheating ghosts. Bastards. Okay, apparently Turbo A does not work when you're trying to suck up the ghosts on this screen. Like, okay, don't use the turbo controller on that screen because it's useless. Much like the game. Yeah, the sound generator, I mean, it slows down the ghosts. The problem is that it's $100,000, so getting that is, like, next to impossible. Yeah, so, like, you have to press the buttons and just hope for the best. I never quite fully figured out the controls for this, like, main game. Okay, so, lesson learned. If you're close to getting... Like, look at this. The ghosts are just camping at the top of the screen. I distinctly remember in the Master System version, you could reach the top of the screen with the beams, or certainly much closer to the top than you can in this version. Just... Oh. Okay, I pressed the button. What a crock of shit. It's like, you want to talk incompetence, you're talking this game right here. It's like, who needs buttons that work consistently? Okay, so sometimes if I try to go up, it doesn't let me. And then other times, it will let me if I, like, wait long enough. Yeah, so if you're successful, if you get all 4 of them in one go, then you actually get $3,000. Okay, I got an idea. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go... Okay, so I guess if you're not close enough to the ghost, it won't suck them up. I'm guessing that's what the problem is. But I could be wrong. For all I know, it could just be random. It could just be the game failed to read the input when it was supposed to. Yeah, so here we go. I need like $1,000. Yeah, let's just show the Ghostbusters HQ just so you can see what it looks like. Doubtless the game won't let me see it. Yeah, like I was holding down the button that time and it didn't work. Because this arsehole decided to get in my way. Yeah, like, I remember the AVGN talking about this game where it's like, yeah, the city really has more of a problem with drunk drivers than it does with ghosts. So now we can go to the Zool building. This is, the climax, let's say. Yeah, get a little bit of extra money as life insurance. Yep, so this is the end of the game. Now, like I say, I'm using a turbo controller for this bit because you really need it for this part. How do you open the doors? I never quite understood that. Also, the hit detection doesn't really seem to make any sense. It's like... It's kind of like a vague area around where the ghost is, but it's never really explained. And I never quite figured out how to open doors in this. It just seems to happen at random. As I say, I think I did beat this through, like... I'm trying to remember how it was. It's like there's a power-up. Or no, basically you open the door and it triggers random things, where sometimes it does that. And if it does that, then you lose health, but... If you do it when you're on your last hit, it's supposed to give you a game over, but it doesn't. Like, the game just fails to do it. So I think we may actually be in the desired state. So basically, if you open that door a bunch of times, it's got the ghost on it. Effectively, what happens is, it's supposed to give you a game over, but it doesn't. Okay, so that time we got the game over. I may have, like, accidentally got extra health, but whatever. Yeah. Pretty much, you need that glitch to have any chance of beating that part. If you don't get that glitch to work the right way, you're not beating the game. Because, like, the game is badly designed. Or, certainly that last bit. That last bit is, like, next to impossible. It's... Like, it is genuinely, like, on the level of, like, some of the more bullshit Action 52 games, like Cheetah Men and Ooze and games like that. Like, the ones where... You either need to, like, memorize a crazy amount of stuff to get anywhere... Or just have an insane amount of luck go your way. Like, it's like that. Speaking of jank, let's play some Aladdin 3. You know, because this is totally based on the Disney film. Actually, here's another game I've beaten in the past. I don't think I've beaten this on stream, though. But I did get the retro achievements, so I know for a fact I beat it. But, as I say, this being a scrolling shooter, naturally I'm going to want the turbo buttons for it. Because, basically, like any of these games where they don't give you rapid fire from the outset, you're going to just want to have turbo fire for them. Like, just for any games like this. That's just... That's the rule. Unless you want to get carpal tunnel syndrome. And, personally, I'd much rather not. So, yeah. So, this game... This is one of those games you kind of start off underpowered. Okay, so, yeah, what you need to do is you need to get these P power-ups early on, and then you've got a much better chance at survival. It's kind of how this game works. So basically, get the P power-up and don't die. The problem is that the power-ups in this game are random. So you can get a whole bunch of P power-ups early on. Other times, you'll just get things like the speed power-up, which is the S that I just collected. Note that I'm moving faster than I just was. So that's useful, but not as useful as the P power-ups, I would say. And I think the S power-up only works once. So if you get like 3 of these in a row, then it's pointless. And the heart power-up gives you a few extra hits. So now I can get hit and not die immediately, which is great. But yeah, you have to hope that you just don't get a ton of S power-ups, because again, once you've gotten one, the rest of them are useless. And then you've got that, which is an extra life. Also, yeah, Harry Potter, there was a ROM hack themed around that, and it's basically this, but with, like, the worst soundtrack you ever heard in your life. Like, even Raid cannot measure up to that soundtrack. But yeah, this is kind of just a case of... There's a fair amount of RNG involved with beating this game. You have to, like, pray that the game gives you a bunch of P power-ups early on. Because if you don't get that, you're going to be stuck towards the end. Thankfully, this game is quite short. You can beat it in, like, 10 minutes. If you know what you're doing. Like, if you could beat this game in one run, as I say, you can beat this in 10 minutes. In fact, I remember watching Jeff Gerstmann play this, and he did beat this in 10 minutes. I don't know if he's just better at shooters than I am. Probably, because I'm not very good at these, to be fair. It was never really my genre anyway. I've beaten a few of them in my time, but yeah, far from an expert, let's say. So there we go. So you have to shoot down, like, whole patterns of enemies, too, to get the power-ups. So, like, if you don't kill all of them, you don't get the power-up. It's not like you shoot a specific one, and it works. Yeah, so, like, you have to shoot down all 5 of those bees, and it gives you a power-up, but because the attack patterns, or like the way the enemies move, is actually kind of complex. It's almost Euro shooter-esque in terms of how the enemies act. But you see those bats. They might be the bees. No, they look a little bit different, actually. I don't think they're the same. Yeah, it's like similar, but no, it's not the Mega Man enemy. Stop giving me the S power-up. I have no use for it. I've already collected it once, so it makes me kind of want to get it again. Yeah, this is basically just RNG goes against me the stream. There is actually a cheat of sorts where you can get... Like, if the game decides to just not give you the P power-up, there is an alternative. Where I think if you hold select and press B, it actually upgrades your weapon. And if the game just decides to never give you the P power-up, you might actually need that. Because that's the problem. Sometimes you just... The RNG just doesn't work. So here we go. Now I've got triple shot, which is good. Though by this point, you really want the spread shot for this boss. Like, kind of need it. But this will do. Also, yeah, you see so rapidly I'm firing this with this turbo button. Thankfully, these first few bosses are not that hard. But once you get to level 4, all bets are off. And I think we will be going to level 4 at this rate with the amount of extra lives I've gotten. I don't think you can get more than 10 lives, though. I think once you get to 10, it just shows that head, like, icon, and then it never goes above that. And I'm going to assume the reason it shows that icon is so they don't have to draw, like, an extra sprite. Yeah, it does. I think you're right. I don't think they ripped off the sprite or anything, but it does look similar. So you can never tell, like, which enemies are going to give you power-ups and which ones don't. Seems a little bit arbitrary. But yeah, if I can get another P power-up, it'll actually give me a spread shot. And you'll want the spread shot. Suffice to say. Like, anyone who's ever played Contra knows that. But yeah, like, you look at the amount of enemies you have to shoot to get the power-ups, too. But hey, at least I got the health back. This could be a lot worse. Yep, here we go. So now we've got the spread shot, so now we're good. Ugh. I mean, they could do that, but that would take up an extra sprite in the, like, the RAM, I think. Or, like, the VRAM, whatever. And they probably didn't want to do that. They probably need that sprite for something, but... Here we go. So now I think I'm better equipped for the rest of this. As I say, I have beaten this game before, so if I don't beat it today, then whatever. It took me so many tries to beat it, though. Which, granted, is probably just me being bad at these types of games, if I'm being completely honest. But, also, the final boss in this game, if you've ever played this game, you know how... you know how bad the final boss is, if you've gotten that far. Like, it is the worst. And you can't upgrade the weapon past this point. You can do 2 spread shots and that's it. Not that you need more, to be fair. So I think I've gotten all the power-ups I need. But there is one in particular on the last level that you kind of need for the boss fight. Yeah, here we go. So now we gotta fight the Skull of Doom. Like, just the top part of a skull. I don't really get it. And now I'm out of health, which is not good. Yeah, because the problem is, every time you die, you lose your speed power-up and your weapon gets downgraded. And you really don't want that at this point in the game. You kind of just... Yeah, so I think this is kind of the end of the run. Like, yes, I'll be able to get to the last level, but basically, if your weapon gets downgraded, you're fucked. Which, granted, is a common problem in these kind of games anyway. And this isn't even the worst example of it, because at least in this game, your weapon doesn't get downgraded all the way. It only gets downgraded part way. But yeah, basically, if you haven't got the, what is it? Basically, at this point, if you don't have a fully upgraded weapon, you're done. Like, you're not beating the game at this point. Also, yeah, for some reason Aladdin just goes into space. I don't really know what's going on there. Also, yeah, I had to tank the hits to get the power up, which is great. There is a specific power up that you have to get here. Yeah, so it actually just scrolled off the screen as I was getting killed. If you don't get that power up, you're not beating the game. Which is kind of the problem with this game. It's incredibly unbalanced and doesn't really work properly. Like, I mean, this is made by the same people that made Destroyer, and Destroyer is quite possibly the worst game ever made. Like, no one ever talks about it, and they really should. But, yeah, I don't remember how I beat this game before. I think when I beat this game, I just got lucky with the power-ups, and then just didn't get hit. Yeah, so basically, if you're in this state, you may as well reset the game. Yeah, like, what even hit me there? There was nothing there. It's like the game just broke. It's like the game forgot how hit detection worked. Yeah, you just randomly get killed. So that's Magic Carpet 1001, or Aladdin, or whatever it's called. Not really worth the time of day. As I say, it's worth playing through once, but only because of how short it is. Now, Dino Riki, which for some reason doesn't have a title, I don't know what's going on there. So this is the last game we're going to play on this page, and then we'll be done. So let's see what's going on here. I don't know why they removed the title, but sure. So yeah, if you ever played this is a bit of a weird one. This is where you're kind of on foot, and you're going around shooting everything, and you desperately try not to get killed. Also, the enemies kind of spam shots at you, just like in the last game. Oh, and actually, just like the last game, your weapon gets downgraded every time you get hit. Because it's one of those games. Basically, what you want to do in this game is never get hit at all. Like, this is a Hudson Soft game and is therefore incredibly hard. I've gotten a few levels into this before, but basically this is one of those games you can't afford to get hit at all. Like, if you get hit near the start, you're done. Like, you're not beating the game. Because it basically, like, puts you at a massive disadvantage. It's like, you lose all your power-ups, and it's like, oh, you're not beating the game now. Also, this platforming section, good luck. Especially when the game just speeds up out of nowhere. Like, there isn't even any kind of, like, warning that the game's going to do that. Like, they could at least have some kind of on-screen indication of, like, you know, like, the game is about to speed up. Like, even fucking Sachin could do that. Like, what was that one really terrible game Sachin put out? Oh no, it was a Joyvan that I'm thinking of. What was that game? Sidewinder? Yeah, that game is terrible, but even that game could do that. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, the game's also going to speed up now. Yeah, so this is kind of what you have to do. Again, this is one of those games you're just not allowed to get hit. And like, you see how like low the jump is too. You can barely clear that. This is it. Just like spam shots until you win. Because, you know, it's one of those games. There's a screen clearer move. Actually, to be fair, I don't think this game is that bad. Certainly better than the previous one, but it is also bastard hard, and yeah, suffice to say, I've never beaten it. I've beaten the last game, I've not beaten this one. Though actually, to be fair, this is not a bad game. I'd certainly take it over that piece of shit Mickey Mouse game that I looked at last time, but... Wait. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how the wings work in this. I never sussed them out. It's like I had the wings for a second, and then they kind of just disappeared. So, like, look at how fast he moves. It's like Gradius. Basically, if you go above a certain speed, you just get killed. And I've never understood why these, like, shoot-'em-up games do that. Like, why would you have a mode that makes you run too fast? It's like, why even put that into the game? So, oh yeah, I want to be able to not make the jumps because I outrun the screen. Well, it would have been good to know that earlier. This game really makes no effort to explain how anything works. Because that's just how games were at the time. I feel like this game would actually be 10 times better if they just took out the platforming elements completely. Like, this game is not a platformer and really should not have been designed as such. Like, the platforming sections are, like, really the worst things about it. You're like, okay, but why did you put a jump button in this? Like, there's a reason shoot-em-ups don't have a jump button, and this game is it. Like, this game killed the idea of, like, ever doing that. I don't know. Actually, I don't think it's even that that's the main problem. I mean, the first thing is that hitboxes are too vague and everything. You can't really tell where you're supposed to go, or, like, where you can position yourself. But also, what is it? It feels like this game should not be an auto-scroller, if anything. Like, it feels like it should scroll when you move. Because that was kind of the standard for games like this, and for good reason. Because when you try to make it an auto-scroller, it makes doing the jumps like 50 times harder, for like no good reason. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, Hudson Soft, I gotta be honest, I think a lot of their games have not aged well. I think that's the problem. Like, in terms of, like, just programming, like, they were certainly one of the most competent, but the actual design of their games was often not great. Like, you play them now and you're like, yeah, like, I can see what they were going for, but it just doesn't really work. In a modern context, at least. But, I mean, at least I can say that for it. I'm like, this was probably good at the time, but it's not good now. Where a lot of these games, where I would look at them and say, okay, well, this sucked even when it was new. I do feel like Hudson Soft games have aged, like, the worst. Compared to, like, a lot of the others. Because, again, a lot of the other games have either, like, they either hold up a lot better today, or they just weren't any good in the first place. I think that's kind of the problem. It's like, this game really needed a few tweaks to make it work. Again, get rid of the auto-scrolling completely. Like, either get rid of the platforming or the auto-scrolling. Like, you can't do both. It's like, Mario could do it, but Mario's, you know, a side-scrolling game. So that's kind of why that works. And apparently this was based on a wrestler, I think, originally. Not that you would know that from playing this game, but it just feels like an original IP, but... yeah. I never quite understood this game. Also, yeah, Adventure Island 1 could be a good game, but it's just way too hard to really be worth bothering with today. And besides, I mean, there are better versions of that game anyway. Like, Wonder Boy on the Master System is a better game. I'm just going to say that straight up. Like, you want to play that game, just play the Master System game. But the Master System version is the better version. It certainly looks better. Like, you could maybe make a case for the sound not being as good, but yeah, it's better in just about every other way. I seem to recall that one was slightly less hard. Maybe. I think that one, the continue system kind of made more sense, at least. Also, weirdly, this game actually gets easier after level 1. It doesn't really make sense. It's like... because level 1 has all those really awkward jumps in it. And level 2 doesn't, I don't think, or... yeah, it's like, okay, you dodge these things and you're fine. Also, I'm going to deliberately avoid the speed-up tokens, because I feel like it's like a Gradius situation where you want to collect a couple of them, and then just never collect them again unless you get hit. Also, yeah, like, in fact, the enemy patterns in this are actually quite similar to the ones from the last game. They're just kind of, yeah, just kind of awkward to sort of deal with. Also, like, what are you even supposed to do there? Like, the enemy just appears out of thin air. Yeah, great design. I think not. I guess the best way to talk about Hudson Soft games is they're products of their time. But even then, like, a lot of products of this time... I think about what was coming out then. Some of those games have definitely aged better than this. It's like, you think of what else was coming out in 1987. There wasn't... I don't think there were many great games coming out then. But there were definitely better ones than this. So you think of what else was out, and, yeah, like Rygar was out at the same time. And Rygar is, like, 1 billion times better than this game. Like, Rygar is one of the best games ever made. And this game wishes it was Rygar. It's like, okay, why would I want to play this game in a world where Rygar for the NES exists? Like, there's no reason to play this. It's like, I could play this, or I could just play that game, which is better on, like, every conceivable level. So there we go. Yeah, we can safely cross that one off the list, which is fine by me. It's not one I'm particularly keen to return to. So that's page 35 done. Surely the next patch of games can't be as bastard hard. Page 37. Okay, what do we have on this one? I'm actually going to leave the turbo controller plugged in just in case... Okay, that's the wrong button. Just in case there are like games on this where I want the turbo controller. Also, this D-pad sucks, which may be part of the problem with those last couple of games. No, that's the wrong page. Okay, this is the page that I want to go on. So here we go, page 37. So we have Deblock. We have bowling, because we haven't had enough bowling today. Space Hunter, oh no. No, why do we put the Transformers game on here? Like, as opposed to literally anything else. Karaki, yeah, we'll talk that one up. Cadil, Wotapip, Quarterback, Karate Champ, and King Knight. Well, you know what? King's Knight is definitely one that I want the turbo controller for, because, yeah, you need the turbo controller to play this game. What else do we have? Are any of these other games ones where I want the turbo controller? Maybe not. No, I think it is just this one. King's Knight. Let's do it. So, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, so this is made by the same people that made the Ghostbusters port, so don't expect much from this one. But I'm going to tell you right now, I've played through this game recently, using save states and rewind and whatever else. Trust me, you do not want to play through this game legit. Like, the last level in this... If you thought the last level in Ghostbusters was bad, this is somehow worse. Like, this is genuinely harder than that is. Because at least in that game, you had that, like, weird glitch that you could use to your advantage. And you don't have that with this game. This game, not an option. I will say this, though. This certainly looks a lot better than Ghostbusters. It's a lot less grey, so at least it's got that going for it. Not that you'd want to play this, but... You know, in some ways this is better than the previous game, and in other ways it's notably worse. Mostly in just the difficulty. This game is way too difficult for its own good, I would say. But yeah, if you ever played this, it's a bit of an odd one. So this is... In some ways it's kind of similar to the previous game, like you're like on foot in like a scrolling shooter. And yeah, this does appear to be the NES version of the game, with the copyright info cut, but, you know, other than that, it's the same thing. But yeah, you really need a turbo controller to play this one. Like, this game is hard enough as it is. Yeah, like this. I think this was also Square's first NES game. Not the first Famicom game, because, what was that game? Fexter does predate this. But I think this was the first game they released outside Japan for the NES. Unfortunately, this is one of those games that seems great on paper, but then you actually play it and you're like, yeah, this is not good. It's just... I don't think it's quite as bad as people tend to make it out to be. However, it is far more difficult than it needs to be. Let's put it that way. Like, getting this power up, like how would you know to get that? And yeah, made by Square, who of course went on to make such hits as Final Fantasy and Rad Racer after this. Though, to be fair, they didn't actually make this game. Again, this was by Bits Studios, or Bits Laboratory, or whichever one made the last game. Or the last game. you know, whichever one made Ghostbusters, that's the one that made this. Because David Crane had nothing to do with that, that rubbish Ghostbusters port. Yeah, just destroy everything. That's basically how you play this game. And also try not to get killed in the process. Incidentally, to beat this game, you need to get like several like hidden icons hidden in the levels. So like the weird sort of icons that you see once, you have to collect all 4 of them. And if you miss one, you can't beat the game, if I remember correctly. Although there are certainly at least 2 of those icons that you need to collect all of to be able to finish the game. And they can only be used by certain characters, because there are 4 characters that you play as in this game. So I can tell you right now, I have experience with this one. I've played this game far more than anyone should, to tell you the truth. Like, this is not a game you really need to bother with. Yeah, so you need to collect, like, that icon. If you miss that, you're not beating the game. So here we go. Reject Le Soldat. Wait, is this like a French translation? What's going on? Because I don't remember this game being in French when I played it before. So I don't know what's going on there. That's just weird. Also, I don't remember where the icons are in the other levels. That may be a problem. So yeah, like you see just how slow this character is starting out too. Which really does not help. Also, you have to go in these sections to beat the game as well. Again, I don't think this is one of the worst games on the NES, but it is way too hard for its own good. Like, this game really needed, yeah, some extra polish. Particularly on the last level. Like, the first 4 levels I don't think are actually that bad. Like, once you know what you're doing, like, once you've figured out, like, the enemy patterns and whatever, like, it's doable with practice. But then you get to the 5th level, and then just all bets are off. Like, that is, again, genuinely worse than that last bit in Ghostbusters. Because even in Ghostbusters, I was able to beat it. Albeit with glitches, but at least I was able to beat it, which is not something I can say for this. I had to use, like, save states and whatever else to beat this one. Yeah, why is this version in French? Like, what's going on? That's just strange. If I remember correctly, the power-ups tend to be more positioned towards the center of the level. Yeah, so, like, that one you need to be able to beat the level. Or be able to beat the last level. Like, I want to at least give this a shot. I'm not beating this game, but I may as well see how far I can get. At the very least, we will see the last level, because as long as you have at least one of the characters, you can just go straight to the last level. And I think if you press select on the title screen after you get a game over, it takes you to a screen that allows you to replay the stages. So, like, say if you, like, die as one of the characters, and you have to, like, get that character, you at least are able to replay the level and then get the character to the final level. You don't have to do everything again. So it's not as bad as it could be. Okay, and I couldn't even see that thing in the background, but sure. By the way, if you don't get all 4 characters to the last level, you're not beating the game. like it is literally impossible. Just because of the way the game's designed. But I don't know, this is one that I want to show off at least a little bit. Just to show you how this game works. Because whenever I've seen people talk about this game in the past, they kind of just blow it off as complete rubbish. And I kind of get why. Again, I think there's a lot of missed potential with this game. Unfortunately, this is really a case of the game is just too difficult for its own good. The down arrows literally only exist to get you killed. That's the only reason they're there. And I can't remember where the power-ups are. They're like hidden somewhere on this level. Or on all levels. So there are like up to 20 power-ups for each character. Including all the ones that you need for the like final level. They give you like certain magic abilities. It's weird and doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's funny, I saw people talking about how like the water section is the hardest part. Really, it's more just, like, early on when you don't have the power-ups. Also, yeah, the stages themselves actually get harder. So, like, this is, like, harder than the last couple of levels. Which is funny, because I haven't actually got killed on this one yet, but that's just how it works in video game land. So I never quite understand. Again, this game has jumping, and I don't know why. It's just kind of like, yeah, we just programmed jumping into the game for no reason. Again, the game really didn't need it. Thankfully, the jumping isn't nearly as obnoxious as it is in Dino Riki, but it still doesn't really have a reason to be in the game. It's just kind of like, yeah, we put this in the game because we could. Yeah, here we go. It's like you gotta play DDR with the controller at this point. So here we go. Yeah, good luck with that. Yes, you can get hit while going down the stairs because the designer was a git. It's like, hey, we know how to program... we know how to program jumping into the game. Let's put that in there. That's kind of a common problem with games back in the day, where they would just put features that didn't need to be in there, that only exist to make the game worse. And, yeah, certainly... I want to say Rare were generally the worst for that. But, yeah, Japanese game designers did a lot too, so... they weren't exactly immune. Funnily enough, this is actually easier to avoid getting hit. Because here's the thing, if you go to the stage with all 4 characters, then what actually happens is, your hitbox is like 8 times bigger than it is if you're just playing with 1 character. And it's like the worst thing ever. Like, it actually would have been far better if you only had 1 character that was visible on screen, and then you like pause the game and change them via a menu. I really feel that's how they should have done it, and they didn't. Instead, they did it like the worst way they could have, and it like makes the game like a billion times harder than it needs to be. Or at least it makes this level a million times harder than it needs to be. And as I say, this last level is impossible if you don't have all the characters and if you don't have certain power-ups, because you need to do like 2 or 3 different magic spells to be able to finish the level. There's one part here where there's a... what is it? From what I remember, there's a dead end in this part. And the only way to get past it is to use magic, but you need to have like all the characters to be able to do that. So if you only go here with 1 character, you're not getting past it. I don't know if it's this part, it might be... yeah, okay, it's this bit. Yeah, so because I don't have the magic to get past this bit, I can't get past this bit, and now I just get killed. So, yeah, that's King's Knight. I do have a plug-and-play Mega Drive clone, but the sound on that is so bad, it's not even worth it. Like, I would actually rather just pretend that that one doesn't exist. But yeah, if you press select, it brings up this screen, so you can... like, replay the stages with the characters that got killed. So there is at least that. Okay, let's play a few of the other games while I'm here. You know, I need to play a good game. What's a good game on this? If I can plug this controller back in. Okay, so... I almost want to play the Transformers game. Just because... you know what? Yeah, this one's going to be so quick, we may as well do this now. But I will give you an epilepsy warning. This game has some of the worst flashing that you'll find on, like, any game that's on this console. Also, be warned, this is also one of the worst games on the entire console. Like, yeah. So, that's what I was talking about with the epilepsy. So I just realised I forgot to take this thing off the screen. Yeah, if anyone's ever played this game, you'll know. Like, this has a reputation as one of the very worst Famicom games of all time. And for good reason. Like, this game is, like, almost unplayable. Because, like, you got these enemies that constantly, like, fly down and shoot at you. Also, the hit detection in this is very bad. Often, your shot will clearly come into contact with an enemy, and it just won't connect. Like, the bullet just passes through them. So I don't know what the eye icon does, or 1, or whatever it's supposed to be. Maybe that's an extra life. Yeah, like, you see that shot clearly passed through the enemy. Also, there are no checkpoints, so if I die here, I have to redo the whole level. So this, I think, was made by... What was the company name? ISCO, who did go on to make some better games for the Mega Drive, to be fair. But, yeah, this, I think, was their first game, and it is probably also their worst. Like, this one is miserable. Okay, so somehow I didn't get killed in, like, the first 2 seconds, which is a miracle. Oh, we actually beat the level. We actually got past level 1. I have played this game a fair bit in the past. This is kind of like Mario... This is what Super Mario Bros. Would be like if it was evil. Like, actively evil. Like, the enemies just shoot bullets that you can't react to half the time. Yeah, like, you saw there. Like, I obviously shot the enemy and the bullet passed right through them. Like, that's just kind of the level of quality you have to expect from the Transformers game. Like, here's the thing. Transformers was massive the world over when this game came out. And clearly the game was so bad that, like, any potential publishers must have looked at this game and went, you know what? Yeah, we're not touching this. You were like, you know what? No, come back to us when you have a game that's even remotely worth releasing. Oh, hold on. I think this is invulnerability, isn't it? I thought the B was just, like, bonus points, but... Okay, and apparently if you touch the power-up enemy and don't shoot them, for some reason they don't turn into a power-up, which is weird. But yeah, not getting killed on this is kind of a crapshoot. You just have to pray that the game just doesn't randomly kill you. I think the enemy spawn points are predetermined at least, so it's not as bad as it could be. Also, don't collect the D power-up, because that just takes away any power-ups you have. Yeah, I mean, this is basically, what if you made a Kaizo platformer and made it Transformers themed? That's pretty much what this game is. Like, this may as well be a Kaizo platformer. But even, like, Kaizo platformers have better hit detection, at least. Like, those games are deliberately designed to be as annoying as possible. And apparently the game is obsessed with only spawning the D power-up. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, it's a miracle I even got this far. Because usually when you see people play this game, they kind of just get killed in the first few seconds on level 1. Yeah. Definitely one of the worst Famicom games. Like, again, there's a very good reason this game never got localized. It's because the game is genuinely that bad. Like, you're like, yeah, we're not releasing this. You know what, since we played that one bowling game earlier, let's play the other one. Yes, Championship Bowling. No, the Transformers game is absolutely F tier. Like, again, it is one of the very worst games on the Famicom, I think. You know, it's like, what if Super Mario Bros. Was, like, the worst game ever? Okay, I'm trying to... Wait, how do the controls work on this? Like, it just moves up and down randomly. Like, what? Oh, wait, I see. Okay, if I press up and down, it changes lanes. I don't really understand that. But hey, you've got 4-player options. Well, you can't set it to 5 players, so this is already on the back foot. Yeah, we got 2 bowling games on this system. What have we got? I like this face. Also, why is this woman giving the middle finger? Like, what's going on there? Oh, how do I type the name in? Yeah, I'm going to go for A! And let's go for the 13-pound ball. Also, what is this music? Yeah, this is actually a different game. I don't know why they put both games on here, but sure. But, yeah, let's give this one a go. Yes, Championship Bowling for your Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay, the physics on that looked a bit off. But sure. Yeah, the Fonz. In the house. Fine, let's go Max Power. Because he is the name you love to touch. Oh, we got it. Oh god, I think I remember when Jeff Gerstmann played this on stream, actually. Like, I think when he played this, he could not get a strike ever. And I do wonder if that's just how this game is. I mean, the music isn't technically bad, but this is like the last thing I want to hear when I'm bowling. Like, why would you put this song into a bowling game? Like, this is not bowling music. Oh! I don't know how it did that, but I'll take it. Yeah, I beat the split, because I'm just that good. Again, there doesn't seem to be an option to put spin on the ball, which is weird for a bowling game to not have that. And yet somehow we've come across 2 games today with that problem. Okay, well I'm going to go straight in the middle for obvious reasons. Okay, full power, see if that works. Okay. Yeah. My superior bowling skills. You know, let's try aiming a bit further from an angle. No! You know, what happens if I just set it to 0 power? Let's see this. You know, play this like it was AMF Bowling 2006. Okay, somehow that kind of worked. I don't know how. See if I can go straight down the middle. And no, it did not work. Because I pressed the button a frame too late and the game didn't count it. Also, like, why is the music like this? Is this like Back to the Future where, like, the music was glitched? Because this feels like the same problem that game had, where, like, they accidentally made the song twice as fast as it's supposed to be. I think there was a Game Boy version of this. And from what I remember in the Game Boy version, yeah, the music sounded, well, it was far more appropriate and a lot slower. So, it just sounds like it's glitched. Like, it's not even supposed to sound like this. Yeah, this is some real burbles music. Also, yeah, I'm not aiming to the side far enough, which I think is my downfall with this game. Yeah, like, you see I got all the pins except the front one. I don't even know how that works, but sure. Yeah, as I say, it's kind of like... Maybe if the song was playing at half the speed, it would be good. Or like a third of the speed. Okay, let's try this out, see how this works. It seems like the game, like, automatically applies spin. Okay, let's try to go, like, all the way to the left. And see if I calibrated it correctly. And the answer to that is a big fat yes! Also, it seems like I've got to beat 200 points to get the high score, and... Gotta be honest, I don't think that's happening. Just gonna throw that out there. I'm like... Yeah, unless I can get a bunch of, like, strikes at the end, I'm not getting 200 points. Ugh! No, I got the 8 split, and the 7-9 split. Why not? See how this works. See if I can get this again. I may have thrown it a bit off, though. Yeah, this really reminds me of the Game Boy bowling game, but I'd say that game is better than this, if only because it feels like this is more appropriate for the Game Boy than the NES, if I'm being honest. Like, this isn't bad. Like, I'd say this is probably better than the other game, even if the music is, like, it just feels incorrect, but... Yeah. There is a bit more style to this game, let's say that. You know what, I'm just going to throw it straight in the middle. It's probably going to give me like a 7-10 split, but whatever. Yeah, knew it was going to do that. See, that's why you don't throw it straight in the middle, because the game will do that. I don't know if maybe changing the ball helps. Oh, okay, I actually got all the pins somehow. One last chance for a strike. Let's give it a go. Yeah, I mean, real bowling is quite fun, but you do have to clip your fingernails if you're going to do it. That's my recommendation. There we go, 154 points. Not quite the high score. But whatever. I'm more of a Wii Sports bowling man anyway. And the game just kind of ends. event. What is this? No, okay, I pressed right and it just quit the game. Also, why is there a penguin on the title screen? Like, what's going on here? It's like, oh yeah, bowling, the famous sport for penguins and rabbits. I think they might be getting mixed up with Penguin Wars, but sure. Okay, what else have we got here? I kind of want to play Karate Kid, but... what do we have? Quarterback. You know what? Let's play quarterback. Well, that is true. But, yeah, it's just the last place I would expect to see one. There we go, from Leland. So this was an arcade game, I think. Like John Elway's quarterback. Okay, well, we'll do Deblock after this. So we've got New England, New York, San Francisco, San Diego, Washington, Miami, Dallas, Chicago, LA, Seattle, Cleveland, Denver. So have they just got all the teams? No, they do not. We'll go for Seattle because they're defending champions. But let me scroll to it. There we go. Here we go. Seahawks for the win! Yeah, here we go. So I don't know if anyone's ever played this. I've actually got this on like a 150-in-1 cartridge. What's a good running play? I forget how the controls work in this, I'm not going to lie. Well, since we're playing a bootleg console, let's go for the bootleg play. Oh, no, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, so do not press the A button if you're going to do that. Bad idea. Okay, so you have to press B. No, and apparently if I press B, he just, like, immediately froze it for some reason. Okay, what's going on with this? Yeah, I do remember the passing in this is weird. John Elway in the house. Ugh. Okay. Watch this. I have to show this off just because it's amazing. So, okay, I'll highlight reverse play. This is what happens. Oh. Okay, it didn't work the way I thought it would. The game was just like, nope. Come on. Yeah, 10-yard fight and quarterback. So there is a trick to playing this game. I'll see if I can show it off. So, well, obviously I'm going to go for the goal line formation, considering where we are. Also, it doesn't seem like you can choose the player. This isn't Madden. Oh. No, okay. Wait, did I intercept the ball? I didn't realise that. Oops. No, apparently I intercepted it, and the game didn't make that clear that was the case. It doesn't even say, like, turnover on downs or interception or anything. Like, it just says nothing. Like, it doesn't tell you anything. It's like, why? See, this is the problem. Like, this game doesn't really give you kind of vital information that it's supposed to. Because I thought I was still playing in defense, and the game just didn't really explain it. It's just like, yeah, we're not going to tell you that you're now playing offense, even though that's kind of an important thing to tell you. And it's not like Madden, where, like, the play switches based on who you're playing as. At least there it's obvious, because the camera turns around to the other side. Like, this game doesn't even do that. And you know what's funny too? This game came out, I think, a month after Tecmo Bowl. And yeah, like, you do not want this going up against Tecmo Bowl. I'm just going to say that straight up. Like, okay, I don't remember how to do this glitch. There's a glitch in this game that allows you to basically game it. But there's like a certain button combination you have to press. And I never quite figured it out. Yeah, here we go. Watch this. So, I just go, like, super fast. Look at this. I'm just going to just turn the opposing team into just one giant blob. It's like yeah, try to catch me now, other team. Like, who am I playing against? The New York... yeah, the famous red New York team. Yeah, just stunting on them. Yeah, there we go. Touchdown! Oh, it's a shame I'm not playing against New England and then... Oh. Okay, we did it. Guess what? It's good. It's good what? Like, I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be an apostrophe there. Okay, let's just kick it all the way over there. See how far we get. Yeah, just like warp. Right. End of first quarter. And it's, yeah. Currently tired. Yeah. Okay, what do we have? Well, they seem to be going for the passing play a lot, so let's go for zone. Yeah, they seem to be specialising in that. So what I want to try to do is try to, like, intercept the ball anyway. Wait, who got it? Oh, we did. Well, we got sneak. See if this works. Because I feel like... Oh, okay, my player just decided to be an idiot and throw the ball straight to the other team. Because apparently my team doesn't know how American football works. Yeah, pass the ball to the other team, because that's how the sport works. Yeah, I'm going to stunt on them. I kind of want to blitz, but... Yeah. What's it, 10 to go? Yeah, go long! Oh, bastard. Fine, yeah, I'm just going to blitz them. Yeah, it feels like you pretty much have to intercept the ball to get the ball off them. Basically, if you don't intercept the ball, you're not getting it. Here we go. You know, let's just keep blitzing them and just see how well that works. I'm going to get the team to blitz, and I'm just going to try to block whoever it's going to pass to. Yeah, and apparently my player can't block for shit. Yeah. Unfortunately, you can't just run into the other player and just immediately get the ball off them. Which should be a legal rule in American football, I think. Yeah, unfortunately my team can't defend for shit. Although, to be fair, this is me. Like, whenever it comes to sports games, I was always bad at defense anyway. I was always more of a... Like, I'm like, if I can stay in the offense the whole game, I could do it. Here we go. Free yards. Aha! So what was it? 4th down? Okay, 4th and 1. I'm going to go for punt return. Are they going to punt on 4th? Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, you bastard. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like you're actually better off just deliberately letting them score and then just doing that glitch on them on the next play. Yeah, I'm just going to block kick. I'm just going to go for the dumbest plays possible just to see if... Like, just see how the game reacts to it. Yeah. I'm going to say for the record, by the way, this is not a good game. Really, the... That like, one glitch that I showed off, that's the best part of the whole thing. Like, the rest of the game is kind of rubbish. Because, like, the game is really slow. Defense is pretty much impossible. Basically, defense is impossible. Offense is easy if you can get the controls down, but the controls don't really make any sense. It's kind of the problem with this game. Like, the controls are bad. Yeah. Like, really, this is kind of the way to play it, is just do this. Yeah, it's no good! It's kind of how I'll sum up this one. Yeah, this is how you play this game. Tell the other team to sod off. Because it's the blue team's turn today! Yeah. And we got 1 minute 13 to go. Yeah. But hey, the kick was good. Actually, here's a question before we move on to Deblock. Does Deblock have... what's it called? Does Deblock have a mode that has an ending? Or not? Also, yeah, amazing halftime show. You're really giving Tecmo Bowl a run for its money. As I say, I'm not a huge fan of Tecmo Bowl, but it's way better than this. You know. Whatever my reservations with that game are. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's got more to it than this. Okay, we'll go for... Okay, I'll try playing this for real. See if I can get the ball off them. Oh, I think I got it. You know what? Just because this team is being a bastard, I'm just going to do this. Okay, so yeah, it says interception on the top, but it's one of those things, like Ghostbusters, you're likely to miss it. You know what? Just a stunt on this team. I'm just going to do this. Yeah, you want this ball, don't you? You can't have it. I'm having a seizure in the middle of the field, but it's okay because I'm the next Michael Vick. But only in the sense of American football. Okay, here we go. Also, like, since when does New York play in red? Like, there are two New York teams, neither of them playing red. Like, is it the alternate kit? Just the Giants I'm playing against? I don't know. It's my guess, anyway. So yeah, kick it off to the side. Okay. Okay, let's try actually playing this for real. What does stunt even do? Is that passing block? I don't remember. Yeah, they always just seem to throw to whichever player is the furthest away. Fine, yeah, we'll just blitz. Fuck this. I'm like, fuck you, QB. Just gonna rush you all at once. Second and 9. Okay, zone it is. Yeah, I think he's going to throw to the... Oh, no, he's going to throw to the left because he's an arsehole. Oh, what? Like, the tackling in this is so bad. Like, I think that's the biggest problem. The tackling is just terrible. Okay, and I pressed the wrong one. I was trying to press blitz. And it, like, picked the one above it because it, like, registered twice. Okay, why did I press... So I pressed A and up, and he jumped down. Like, who the fuck designed the controls for this? It's like, yeah, we're just going to have you just jump in a random direction. Yeah, and trying to blitz the QB is pointless. Also, like, it doesn't even show you where the, like, the first... Like, there isn't even a first down marker on the screen. Like, you could have put a first down marker on here. It's not that hard. Oh, wow. For once, the tackling actually worked. Fine, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Haha! Punt return. Because you're 4th and 7, you're not going to go for it. No, he is going for it because he's an arsehole. Oh, actually, no. Okay, loss on downs. Fine. Okay, we'll try playing this for real. So what is... Okay, so here's the thing. If you try running normally, your like player is so slow. Let's go for the sneak. Forget how this works. Do you press the A button? Nope. Okay, if you press B, he just passes it to the other team because your character's an idiot. He doesn't know where American football works. See, this is the problem. Like, the controls just don't make any sense. Like, if you've ever played American football... Like, here's the thing. This game was made by Rare, and they obviously had no idea how the sport worked. Like, this is why you don't get a British company to make an American sports game. Like, what is it? Like, Codemasters made a baseball game that I think inexplicably has 10 innings. Because we all know that baseball is a game that famously usually has 10 innings. Because that's how that works. Just... doesn't make any sense. I've never understood this. Like, even the Japanese had a better understanding of American football than this. Like, you compare this to, like, what Tecmo was putting out at the time, it's not even close. Like, Tecmo Super Bowl, like, decimates this game. Just... it's like, this is the game you put out. This is the thing, like, I don't know what it is, but, like, Rare... people tend to, like, hype up Rare for some reason. I've never understood why. Like, most of their games are not very good from my experience. Like, even, like, the later ones that people say are, like, the good period, a lot of them just aren't very good. Like, you're really going to tell me the people that made Conker's Bad Fur Day knew what they were doing? I don't think so. I've never played the King of Junior game, to be fair. Apparently that one's good, but I've never played it. But I can tell you right now, they had a lot to learn after making this game, because this game does not work as it's supposed to. Because this sure doesn't represent American football well, that's for damn sure. Well, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I'm not a fan of baseball games anyway, so... even if it is good, I probably wouldn't get much out of it. Okay, let's try this out. So now we just got to try to hold out for the rest of the game. Okay, let's just try to play this properly. So we got 8 minutes. 8 minutes to go. Did I get the ball? Yes. Okay. Let's try the bootleg. Because that seems like something I would do. I mean, it's called bootleg. What do you expect? Okay. Like, I genuinely have no idea how the passing in this works. Like, the controls never made any sense to me. It just seems random, like, when it decides to work. Yeah, like, if you press A, he just dives for no reason. Fine. We'll go for a passing play and see how that works. Though really, I should probably just be trying to run out the clock. There we go. Ugh, a play that actually worked. Who could believe it? Okay, so let's see how far we get with the passes. Let's go for the play action. Nope, and I think it got intercepted. Yeah. Can I just, like, try to run out the clock? I guess I'd have to be into offense to do that, but... yeah, so I'm just going to try to see if I can intercept the ball. Like, that's kind of my strategy for these games. Try to intercept the ball and see how far I get. Yeah, there's probably just an ambulance outside. Yeah, let's blitz them just to be obnoxious. Go for a change-up. Yep. So, what is it? 4th and 12. Okay, let's see if they actually try to play this. I mean, they are down by 1 score, so they probably should be playing it. It's like, if you're going to win the game, you got to go for it now. Nope, and you messed up. You know, let's go for the bomb. Because I am the bomb. No, you bastard! Yeah, and also fumbles do not exist in this game. Like, they didn't know how to do that. Also, great sound effects. Yeah, stuff the defense. Well, you know, I may as well just try to just throw it up the field. I mean, we've got like 30 seconds left anyway. They're not scoring off this. Yeah, it just seems like no matter what you do, like, if there's a player on the other team there, then they always catch it. But whatever. End of game. Seattle wins. So I can add that to the win count at least, if nothing else. But yeah, gotta be honest, I think I'd rather play 10-yard fight. I kind of know what I'm doing more with that one. Anyway, yeah. John Elway quarterback. To be fair, you can do worse than this. What was that one? NFL? Yeah, like, I'm going to say straight up, like, NFL, the LJN game, that is 100 times worse than this. Like, that game is so slow, like, you wouldn't believe. But yeah, that's John Elway's quarterback completed. What have we got? You know, since it was suggested, I mean, it's 10-6 now, I'll make this the last game. We're going to play some Deblock. With the amazing Homer Team-esque audio. From Athena, who I think also made Championship Bowling. Anyway. So, what have we got? I think Mode B may actually be one that I can complete. Like, it may be possible to finish that one. So let's just start level 0. Yeah, we've got the amazing soundtrack to go with it too. You know, let's go for Dark Star. I think it's the best one. Okay, so this is a bit of an odd one. This is like... If anyone's ever played Tetris DS, there was a mode in there that was themed around Metroid. And it was essentially this, where you have to like catch the blocks. And you have to form... you have to form these squares. And when you form the square, it clears... Well, basically it clears the blocks. It's a bit of an odd one, this. But I kind of like it. No, this is far better than Square Force or Block Force or whatever it's called. Like, this actually kind of works as a game. I mean, Square Force was just, we have Quarf at home. And as much as I like Quarf, it's a bad version. You don't want to play that one. Okay, let's try to get fancy with this. Slice me nice, as they said. Yeah. See my D-block skills. Ooh. Not the easiest game in the world, as you say. Like, you see how big this thing gets to? It's like, good luck. You gotta manage this, like it's crazy. But watch this. Boom! Yeah, you see all those points I got? So, notice that it says clear 20. So I think that means I have to clear 20 more sets of blocks. I think that's how this works. I'll at least try to beat this one level. I won't get too fancy with it just yet. Yeah, so as you see, went down to 19. Okay, let's try to do a little combo here. So I'll leave this one blue, one blank. Actually, I think the music in this is quite good, for what it's worth. Yeah, as I say, Block Force is sadly not good. Yeah, so you see there, nice little combo. And granted, I mean, the only reason to do that is to get more points, and also just because you can show it off. It's like, if you want to be a show-off like I am, then that's an option. But I can tell you right now, the easy way to get a game over almost immediately is to try to go for the biggest combo possible, because that will just get you like killed almost immediately, like in the first couple of seconds. Also, did Homer Team actually just rip off the sound driver from this game? I feel like they would have. Because this sounds very, like, Homer Team-esque. Punch Sprite at least has the Super Mario graphics. It's got something from a game that I really like. Okay, let's try to just complete this combo, see what happens. Yeah, there we go. So I do actually want to see what happens if you beat a level in this mode, because I don't remember actually beating this one. And again, I don't know if this game actually has an ending or not. I probably need to look that up once I get a game over and just see how that works. Yeah, so you can kind of get away with this stuff. I mean, I'm kind of well versed with this game, having played Tetris DS a lot back in the day. Because again, the Metroid mode is basically this. And I'm like, I played this game years later, I'm like, oh, that's where they got the Metroid game from. Okay, so it is proven. Okay, good to know. Oh, this game has an ending? Okay, that's good to know, because I would not have known without looking it up. So we've got 10 left to go. So, is it like a case of you got to beat 9 levels and then you get the ending afterwards? I don't know. I mean, to be fair, as far as puzzle games go, you know, on the Famicom, you could do a lot worse. Although, I say that, I'm trying to think of, like, bad puzzle games on the Famicom, and I can't really think of any offhand, now that I try to rack my brain. I'm like, oh, also I realised I just blocked myself, that's a problem. At least it tells you what side the blocks are coming from. Like, this actually kind of gives you the kind of information you need in order to play it properly. Kind of the problem with a lot of games I've noticed on this. A lot of them, there's like certain information you kind of need in the moment, and the game just doesn't give it you. Ben for World. Oh yeah, I remember that classic game Ben for World. It's my favourite, after all those other ones I like more. What do you think? Do you think Nintendo got their ideas from this game? It seems like a weirdly influential game, if so. So I can't really think of any game before this that's similar. I mean, I guess in a way, this game definitely has ideas from Tetris, but it's definitely not the same thing. Like, this is absolutely its own thing. God, Pyramid. Ugh. I'm pretty certain only one person responded with Pyramid. Unless there are like 2 others that I missed. I know there's Tripuzz, which I've never actually played, but I've heard that that one's actually supposed to be kind of good, but I just haven't got around to it. Maybe one day. Oh. Nice little combo there. Okay, we've got 2 combos left to go, and then we're done with this level. Oh, okay, that was probably a bad idea, but I'll go away with it. Yeah, basically, if your shape starts getting too big, then you're done. Like, you're just like, yep, guess I'm just going to wait out until I get game over. Okay, there we go. Level 1 clear. So what happens? Oh, okay, you get this screen. Oh yes, strange pop-pop. I wonder if that game's on this, because it feels like it might be. I do like this, though. Just a nice little constellation to keep you going. And colour cycling, too. Oh, the long play... Is the long play for this game 20 minutes long? Because I can imagine Pyramid's taking that amount of time. Because Pyramid is short, if you can do it. Unfortunately, I could not. I think I got about 120-something lines, and then I lost because I got the bastard piece one too many times, and then I couldn't do it after that. Okay, so we've still got to get 25 matches. So it doesn't seem like you have to get more matches on the later levels. You just have to... I assume it's just a case of you have to do it at a faster speed each time. Yeah, here we go. So this is the, so you do it. See, I like a good puzzle game, to be fair. That's maybe what I'm looking for. Okay, so this game is shorter than I thought it would be. I thought this would be like... takes like an hour to beat. And no, that one's facing the wrong way. Not what I want. And that one's the wrong shape. Here we go. Saved. Tommy's Niet? I'm sorry, what? I've never heard of that one. Is that like Tommy's Toys? Like the DOS shareware games from like the 80s? Or is it a different Tommy? I wonder if it gives you more complex pieces on the later levels. Because I know that, what's that 3D Tetris game? Blockout? Does have modes where you get more complex pieces that make the game far more difficult. Oh god, Russia. You know, that classic game. I've played that game, and I kind of wish I didn't. But that is just the same thing as Strange Pop Pop, isn't it? Okay, let's see how big I can make this. But here's the thing, if you're going to make a big combo, you got to be real careful where you put all the pieces. Like, you got to plan it. But I don't have a planet, I just have blocks. Maybe I can make a planet with the blocks. But probably not. Ugh. Oh. Oh. Nope, that's a bad idea. I just... okay, I may have just screwed myself. Because now I've got to get that, like, yellow thing. It's going to take some thinking. Maybe I can be the king of thinking. Ooh. Like, you see how big this thing gets. Yeah, pro tip, do not try to make the block like this, because this is bad. Like, once you get to this, because then... well, your maneuverability is limited, let's put it that way. Yeah, like, you see I can't move all the way? Like, if the block's near the edge of the screen, you're just kind of done. So... yeah, this is basically pro tips. If you're going to play the game, do not play it like this, because you're going to lose. You have to be able to maneuver the block to where you need it to. Anyway, that is Deblock, and that will be it for today. Anyway, that's that'll be it for today, because it's just gone past 6 PM, and I've got things to do this evening, so... yeah, that's all the games. So, yeah. Got a whole bunch of games to get through next time. We have Space Hunter. We have Karaki. We have Cadil. We have Wota Pip. And we have Karate Champ. I mean, Wota Pip, I mean, it can't be worse than Water Pipes, the nice code game. I think I might take a pass on that, just for the sake of my health. But anyway, yeah, I look forward to playing Karaki, Cadil, and Wota Pip, the classic trilogy. But until then, I will see you later, people. See you.